Just getting started though.
You got to introduce yourself, man. We got some new followers and some new listeners. You just have to know that.
Well, to the new listeners, you know what I'm saying? This is Joe Mauve right here behind the board. Everybody else introduce yourself.
I am Cool Hunter.
I am the first lady.
And I am Egypt.
Phone sex.
Ow.
Phone sex.
Haney.
Yeah, we got an interesting show tonight, y'all. Very, very interesting.
It's going to be a lot of back and forthness
We do.
tonight.
Listen, tonight the lines are open. The number to, if you have any comments, questions, call 202-652-0708.
All right.
Call in.
Call in.
So let's get it started, dog. Because I was talking real stuff outside, and I
You
think
was talking
I think
reckless
T was
outside.
feeling some kind of way because it was too real. You know what I'm
No.
saying? But what I was saying out there was, you know what I'm saying, this sexual misconduct thing is getting real blurry. It's getting real blurry right now, and I feel like we gotta put some context to this joint so it won't get too cloudy, because right now it's looking like, to me, it's looking like another loophole, something that's going to wind up in the future, maybe near future.
Women power.
Get exploited to get guys when somebody that's vulnerable wants to feel like getting back at somebody else. So we was talking about like the casting call, like as far as Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Casting couch.
Let's start at Hollywood.
Yeah,
You know
let's
what I'm saying?
start at Hollywood.
I feel like, you know what I'm saying, if somebody's promising you, let's say a director is promising somebody, I don't even want to say man and woman because that's when the females get a little bit touchy. Let's just say an individual is promising another individual that they could do something for them, but in an exchange for a sexual favor.
Well, it's not verbally communicated. They're not gonna say that.
What you mean?
What if they-
What you mean?
They're
What
not
if-
gonna say, well, if you suck my dick.
They're going to insinuate.
It's going to be an
I'll put you on the front
insinuation,
screen.
but
Well,
They gonna
first of all, we
insinuate.
don't know. Some of them
They
might
gonna hint
just
at
be
it.
bold enough to do that.
and even if they do,
some might not.
even if they do, my thing is like this. If you are the type of individual to say, hold up, I'm not for that, and you get up and you storm out, if you want to come back and press some charges and you want to rectify the situation, I feel like you have
Right
every
then
right
and
to
there.
do that. You know what I'm saying?
Correctify.
But if you, yeah, that's the word. Let's put that on the Crown
Make it his
360.
own word.
Correctify. So what I'm saying is, but if you comply, if you like, well, I guess I'll do it, and you busting it open,
a
and you
favor
get
for a
your
favor.
reward, and life goes on. That, like you say, it's a favor for a favor.
It's a favor for a
That's a
favor.
business proposal. That's a transaction. And I was trying to tell T that sex is a business. Whether you want to hate on it or not, you know what I'm saying? Sex is a business. So if you try to do one business, and a side deal get thrown out there, and you comply with that, I don't feel like that. I don't feel like you a victim. I feel like you might have made a decision that you just might not be happy with in the future.
Because you didn't get any lead roles,
not even that. You just might not
but
can sleep at night.
what happens if you do the favor for the favor and you don't get the favor?
And I feel like, you know what? And I feel
Then,
like that's
then
wrong.
can you come back
Yeah,
and
hell
be like,
yeah.
oh, well,
Hell
he
yeah.
sexually
'Cause
assaulted
that's some
me.
wrong
But
shit.
that's what's
Or
happening.
propositioned me.
In some cases, I believe that's happening. I don't believe a lot of these females are coming back truthfully as victims. I think they're coming back just to get a pay up.
Yeah, true. And that's
really
what I'm
do.
saying.
It's hard to
Some.
assess.
I'm not saying all.
Not all. Nah. We ain't gonna talk in absolute. We ain't sifts out here. But what I'm saying is, like, for real, I feel like I feel like you are very wise to be aware to say that, because a lot of women get emotional, you know what I'm saying, when you start talking about this subject. But I'm challenging women to be more accountable, you know what I'm saying, like make smart choices, you know what I'm saying, like don't make dumb choices then come back mad because you can't sleep at night trying to get some money for their money, because even though the law tell you it's fine and you could do that I don't feel like that shit is just, you know what I'm saying,
I
like
mean, even
I don't feel like it's just
even like 20, 30 years later and shit. And you're
Yeah,
like,
I mean, to me-
you coming out saying it, and then when you do get the money, you're not trying to be an advocate. You're not trying to
Right,
donate
that's a good point.
to foundations of rape victims or molested children. So,
But let's not say
you
that
just
they should feel
disappear.
obligated to either.
Right,
think
and that's
you
why
should.
it's an
I think
extremely
you should,
tricky
'cause
landscape. There's so many different things to cover when you're talking about sexual misconduct, but we talking about the casting couch. So, to me, propositioning somebody for anything, I mean, but we talking about sex more specifically, isn't necessarily a bad thing or more about right or wrong versus understanding the situation and scenario first.
Okay.
If somebody coerces you into it or tricks you into doing something against your will, that's one thing. But you got to be careful of the position you put yourself in. People go to Hollywood to become stars and with the fame and the limelight and all that stuff and don't evaluate what comes with it.
Yeah.
What comes with it are these tricky situations where people get you to compromise your integrity, your character, sell your soul, do things sexually that you might not normally do. They're going to use that to gauge how successful you want to be.
Yeah.
Because they're offering you something. They want something in return. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying understand it first.
Yeah.
That way you don't put yourself in certain situations. Or if you are in a certain situation, you don't feel obligated to do something because you're like a deer in the headlights. Like, I didn't know what to do, so I had sex with 6 dudes.
That is really
Come on,
gross.
man.
Yeah.
And you're a man.
Gay for pay.
Like we was talking
Men
about.
do get sexually molested as well.
But you know what's crazy? The thing I heard about the Matt Lauer thing that was just happened. What that just happened today? Did that or it just came out today?
Now who's that?
Yeah.
Matt Lauer, the Bama off the NBC dude. You know what I'm saying? From what I read up is it was some inappropriate gifts that he gave some dildos or something at work.
I
At
would have
work.
took it. I don't know what that
Now, I
is.
wonder what he did. So he
Gave some inappropriate gifts. They said, and they said
that's
that he
petty.
exposed himself to a woman. So I when I heard the exposing part, I was like, that's too far. That's too far. When you just whipping out on somebody, they not ready for that. You know what I'm saying? But if you verbalizing something,
He bought her some dildos and pulled his meat out.
Dog,
Look
yeah,
at
yo.
Dildos are okay,
No,
but
it
when you
was an
pull your
insult
dick
'cause
out,
his
it's
penis
a whole
was so
nother
small
level.
and the dildo was
What
big.
the
nah,
hell?
because sometimes people's human be jive like off key.
No. First of
It
all,
does.
Yeah, somebody's human.
Caucasian.
Hey,
First of all,
I was trying to be nice.
Caucasian.
I was trying to be nice.
First of
Them
all-
people's their humor a little different.
no, it's okay if you made a friend at work. Y'all are already friends.
Okay.
Y'all have already built some type of relationship, and then
Okay.
you send a gag gift like a dildo. Okay, great. We're cool. That's okay. But if we don't have no type of relationship, I come to work, I see you, I do my business, and I go home. You don't have no business sending me no fucking dildos
Right.
as a gift.
Right.
That's inappropriate.
Right.
Yeah.
But see what you just did, you
What
added
if your
context.
batteries ran out?
Right.
She
I'm just kidding.
she added context, but
Shut
when we
up.
see headlines, let's be honest. Maybe we are, but most people bring in context or even looking for context
No,
once they read
I
the
look
headline.
for it.
And most people now
But
they're
like I
reacting
said,
off emotion.
that's
and
what I
they
said.
were
That's what
raised
it
on
is.
is right and
Yeah.
wrong, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think with Matt Lauer, like a lot of these dudes, you also got to throw in the position of power, and women too. Like people in powerful positions, humans gonna push boundaries. Period.
Oh,
People in
yeah.
powerful positions
Most definitely.
will get away with stuff that the average person can't get away with because of the network
Because
they
of the
have, the
fear
money
of
they
that
have,
person.
all the repercussions that come with crossing this person or dealing with this person.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure that's why it's good that some of these stories are coming out because it's holding higher ups accountable.
Yeah, because they have bosses to answer to too as well.
But I tell you what,
Yeah.
I'm a little. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're
I'm just a
fine.
little. I'm a little blown that story about Terry Crews came out though.
Let's
I'm a
talk
little,
about Terry
I'm a
again.
little
We
blown about
hinted
that.
at old
I'm a little
Terry.
blown about that,
Old
dog.
Damon.
You know what I'm saying?
Old
yeah,
Damon.
yeah. He got
Go to
touched
the
like
website.
Damon
Fuck
touched
outta
people.
here.
Dog, my thing is this. This dude sat here and gonna come out now and act like he's I'm doing the strong thing. But I'm saying, bruh, as a black man, bruh, you let somebody come and grab your balls and your
In
dick
front of your
in
lady.
front of your lady,
Wait,
bruh.
hold on. Let me.
You're
let
a
me-
woman,
I'm
bruh.
gonna stand up for men as well.
Okay, stand up for
I
him.
am, because I see it both ways. Everybody gets victimized. I believe that happens.
I believe it happened too.
I believe because he's not a closed-minded person, so he went and played roles that were gay. Just like Martin Lawrence. He played a female, but because he
you
played
touching on something.
Yeah, because Martin Lawrence played females in a role, or Eddie Murphy,
Or a bunch of black men.
bunch of black male actors. Does that mean they should be violated by another man?
Nah.
You have to be invited in my space to be allowed to do anything to me.
Yeah.
So if I don't invite you, you're violating me.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is what I feel like he should have did is if you're not gonna pummel this dude facing, then you at least need to jack this bam up on the wall and put some kind of fear of God in this
Right.
man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm saying is Even if he was by himself, dog, I would be like, maybe he was caught off guard. You know what I'm saying? But the Bama was with his woman.
See, the problem I had with Terry Crews
violation on a
Because
million.
not only
No,
did you
what about
disrespect
Russell
me,
Simmons
but
when he
did
said,
it
"Can
in
you
front
just
of
let
my-
it slide?" Who
What
the fuck?
slide?
He's another one.
Hold on, what happened with Russell Simmons?
Let's
Russell-
stay focused though. Let's stay focused. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Russell
Hold on, I
Russell
want to know what the fuck
Simmons
happened with Russell
beat
Simmons.
people.
Simmons told Terry Crews, "Just let it slide."
Oh,
That's like-
oh, Bama
Yeah,
ass.
because he probably took it in the yin yang too. So
Oh, he
but
be
what I'm
doing
saying
shit.
is, why would you say that to him because he's a man? That's like telling your daughter if a man touches you or puts their
But you
hands.
know why he says it? Because Russell Simmons, he like young girls.
He's
That's
a
in the
part of
headlines
that
for
culture.
He has
right?
no
He's a part of that
boundary
culture.
the
when
culture.
it comes
Yeah.
to that.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
of course he saw that as okay. Of course he said let that slide.
Yeah, yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah, he
for him.
fighting allegations too. I think Terry Crews' problem
Lot of
is
allegations.
he prioritized his success and his career in Hollywood over
Talk
his
about
masculinity.
it. Talk about it now,
And he
honey.
wants people to feel sorry for that.
Talk
So
about
as
it, honey.
As a melanated man,
Let it be known.
I lost all respect for you.
So if I,
But what if
You
he
didn't def-
didn't come out with the intention for people to feel sorry for
Your
him? What
intent-
if he just came out
intentions are
because he
irrelevant.
wanted to get it off his chest?
Your
That's
intentions
cool.
are irrelevant. That's beside the point. The point is a man violated you in a way, and the first thing came to your mind was like, "Damn, am I gonna get another movie role?"
yeah,
What do you?
Come
your
on.
thought process is fucked
Yeah.
up. That's why you're doing them
Yeah.
wild Old Spice commercials.
And you
all
know
fucking
what?
great.
That's why they say a lot of people in Hollywood sell their soul.
Right.
Yeah.
People do whatever they have to
Because
do for the
you
success.
have to be. If you're not relevant, if you're not in the news, if you're not in the on TV, then you don't matter. You're not going to get paid. You're
Yeah,
not going to
true,
get a
true.
gig. So what happens is Hollywood is the largest what do they say? Homeless. A lot of homeless people live in Hollywood. And would you believe that? Hollywood is expensive. So you have a lot of people flying from all different around the world, and they
Just to
can't
go there
find-
to make it.
Yeah, just to make it, and they're living in their car or living in an alley.
but
They
see,
decide
have
they
the
want to have
most-
sex with people.
And that's
just-
it.
homeless
And that's
people.
exactly why a dude would walk up to a 6'6", 250 dude, jiggle his balls. He'd be like, "Yeah, I'm trying to get on."
Jiggle
man."
his ball.
but let me ask you this. Let me ask you this though, man. This is what, and this is
Okay,
what I'm
Terry.
saying. This is what I'm saying.
Did you have to do this?
He did do that.
Now Terry Crews got violated. He didn't ask for that. He didn't even. It wasn't even a scenario. Like it seemed like that shit just came out the blue. But what I'm saying is, if like the piggyback on what he was saying, as far as Hollywood, the desperation that people try and make it, like, are we okaying the desperation more so than we okaying the people that prey on that? Like, shouldn't both things have some kind of
said
scrutiny?
earlier, both parts should be held equally
Right.
responsible.
Well, I mean, that's part
their
of that's
shit.
part of
But
the
because
problem.
wait, hold on, but it's not because I can go and be wanting this. I want it. I'm craving. I'm hungry.
You thirsty?
Yeah, I'm thirsty for this line.
Uh,
I'm not going in thinking that I'm going to have sex with this man.
Why not?
But that's what
I'm
he's
not.
saying. Because it's Hollywood, you should go
You
in
should
being
know
You should
that.
know that,
prepared.
dog. It's been
That's what you're
stories.
putting yourself into.
Yeah.
You have to evaluate.
Dun, dun,
That's
dun,
like
dun,
that's like going to a bad neighborhood. You see the memes where it's 30 dudes in front of a building.
You gotta
like say
carry
in
a
New York or
gap.
something up top where they got all the high rises. Land, the landscape is different up there. So
Okay.
everything built up.
Okay.
You walk up to a building, there's 30 dudes standing out front, smoking, drinking, talking shit. You go to go see a girl. You walk up, it's like, oh nah, they ain't gonna fuck me up. I'm just gonna walk straight through them and walk upstairs.
yeah, yeah. And you
I
walk
did
and you
it.
get your ass whooped.
Then before you even get to them, they chase you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Still whoop you.
Yeah.
You should have looked. You should have pulled up. Like, nah, it ain't worth it.
Should have made a better choice. That's all.
Just bucket you. Go somewhere. You have to assess the situation
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
So when you're going to Hollywood, looking for fame and all of this stuff, there are people that preying on people and they getting away with it left and right because of how can you hold Harvey Weinstein accountable, for example?
Well, for one, they feel like they're too powerful to the point where if a nobody came out against them, nobody would believe them.
Right.
And then two, they probably do it so much, and the people that they are propositioning okay it so much that they don't, like, they gotten to the point where they feel like there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
Well, the last 100 girls I just had on my couch did it, so let me try this one too.
I feel like I would just respect it more if a lot of people didn't comply and then like totally opposed it, then came back trying to get retribution or whatever, I would respect that. But it seemed like people coming back
do it
after they complied and after they reaped some kind of benefit or some
But
kind
like,
of
how do
reward.
we know that?
Well, I mean, how do we know anything
Are the
about it?
articles saying that
Yeah,
they
that's true.
complied and
It's-
then they came back?
That's
Or
why
is
it's
that-
always skeptical.
I think a lot of them are getting the courage to come back because they see a lot of females starting to be vocal when it comes to that sexual abuse and sexual assault. So I don't think that. I mean, I believe some women, but some other women I don't believe. I believe that they're probably trying to get some benefits off of it.
Yeah.
But
Because T was trying to.
majority of them, like Bill Cosby, like how can 60 women come out and say they?
It's a gray
rape.
area.
I don't know what to believe.
Like, so we still
Cosby.
talking about like Hollywood and the casting couch.
They
And
all
Bill
did it.
Cosby.
They all
Bill
did it.
Cosby.
They all
hold on,
was
let's hold on for
guilty.
Bill.
Did you see his face?
Nah, because I was thinking some shit. I was thinking about, you know what I'm saying? Because some of it, like, if he did do that to 60 women,
That's a lot.
at
He's
least.
the perfect cover up one.
Okay, but
He's
what I'm
like
saying,
the perfect dad on TV. Who
Thir-
would believe anybody?
30 of them
I
wasn't
would-
raped. I don't give a fuck.
The uncle
30 of
be
them
having
wasn't
sex
raped.
with
At
the
least 30
babies.
of them wasn't
I
raped.
think
I
the
don't
problem
believe
with
none of
Bill
it.
was in that day and age in that era.
They used
when
to
they
do
was
that.
partying, they was getting high.
They
Some
used
of them
to do
youngins
that.
Probably woke up the next day.
Yeah.
Didn't know
Didn't
that they
know.
had sex
They
with
just thought they was
someone.
gonna be woke for the sex, but the
No,
sex
no,
happened
no.
when they was asleep.
See, I don't
So it was
think
like, nigga,
that's-
you came what you got. You
I
came
don't think
for
that's
it.
the case. They say in the 60s and 70s, if you remember it, you wasn't having a good time.
Yeah, they did a lot of drugs.
That's the same.
Shit.
So
See,
for them to say that, oh, well, he did this to me, he drugged me, he did all this and that, I think
Come
y'all
on,
was
man.
just partying.
yeah, that's
And then
what
my
I'm saying.
thing was, if you were drugged to that point, how
And
do
didn't
you even
remember
remember?
then. How
That's
you
what I'm
remember
saying.
now?
30
Like,
years later, you can detail this nigga's dick. Come on,
Now,
man.
the first couple of stories
Come
I
on.
heard, I was like, nah,
Don't-
not
right.
Bill.
Now-
But then when 30, 60 came out, I was like, all right.
Look,
It
y'all had a-
had where there's smoke,
Smoke.
there's fire.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
of them probably aren't telling the truth, but at least a couple of them might have a story.
And Hugh
behind
Hefner
of it.
died before he get prosecuted. That he
Oh,
should
yeah,
have
I'm
been a
sure
part of that
he-
Well, I
gang.
mean, let's use another example.
But he was smart with the shit. He made it illegal. He made
Yeah,
it
he
illegal.
did. Hugh
You know
Hefner
what I'm
was a
saying?
smart
that's the shit that happened.
businessman.
Well, I was telling my mans about R. Kelly because nigga my man's trying some R. Kelly on that shit again. I was like, dog.
He never stopped.
He
I
been
was-
on that
But
shit.
my thing was like this.
started
With R.
doing
Kelly doing and with Hugh Hefner been doing for years, it's just legalities. That's the only thing that's the difference. He made y'all believe it's legal. But this motherfucker was talking to chicks telling them, look, you go in this room, I come in here and you gonna do all this for me. And they was like, okay.
Okay.
Now-
Dog, what
You
is
talking
the
about R.
problem?
Kelly?
Yeah, that's what they were saying. The little, what he
Nah,
said.
his stuff a little deeper than that.
What
You
they-
man on this 50 Shades of Grey type shit.
But that's what I'm saying. He wasn't
telling
having
me
them
no.
chicks knew what they was in there for. They wasn't in there off no.
don't know.
They was coerced. They
did.
knew what they was in there
did.
for.
It was
Shorty
better than
said
getting
it.
whipped,
I'm talking about
living with R.
the
Kelly.
most recent stuff that came out about R. Kelly is like he got den mothers, he got women.
That's what
training
I'm
women.
saying, bro. Are you listening
I
to
would
me?
love to
You
train
just say you
another
got.
female.
How do you get forced to be trained, bro?
I would
You're
train
being
a-
trained because you're
my
trying to be what this guy wants you to be.
Yeah.
The chick
I
even
understand.
said that she wasn't
But
abducted.
Hugh Hefner's making them
She
women
wasn't.
wealthy and rich. R. Kelly ain't doing that. He
You know,
ain't
I
paying
don't know
them
about
nothing.
wealthy. I don't know about wealthy.
They say rich. I say rich.
Okay, I give you. I
Make
maybe
a
They
maybe get a
comfortable.
check. Maybe get a check.
They comfortable.
Maybe get a
These
These
check.
women live in a room like the size of your little brother or something. Have no rights, can't leave, can't eat unless he wants
Bruh.
them to eat all.
You don't
Listen,
even know that.
If your level,
I
this
hope it ain't
is
true,
what I'm saying.
but,
Your
you
if
know.
your
I heard
level
that
of
big ass
desperation makes you
hear
make ill-advised
Big ass.
decisions, who are we blaming, dog? That's
See,
what
I
I'm
don't think
saying.
everything is assessed the same way as desperation. If you have a situation where a man is using his power like R. Kelly, where he might go to a show in Atlanta and take the woman from Atlanta and move her to a house in L.A. where she has no resources, no family, no
Yeah.
nothing to rely
So he
on.
forced her to go to L.A.
I'm just throwing
She
an
got
example.
no
out.
way.
But
getting
I'm
back
saying-
That
to
situation is
Atlanta.
different than Hugh Hefner giving you a contract, signing you to take nude pictures. You know what I'm saying? That's not comparable. This man is destroying your life. The other one is helping your life.
But it's all about choices. That's my whole thing. It's about choice.
At the
We're
end of
not.
the
We're
day.
not. Yeah, at the end of the day, because we're not talking about a forcible thing. We're not talking about a physical act on somebody else through force. Like I'm whooping somebody ass, taking something from 'em. We talking about propositions and language making somebody feel like they have no choice.
And it's some truth and validity to that, and some of it is BS. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that just because it's not physical, that there's no power behind it. That's why, for example, titles. The person that's doing it matters. So if you look at Russell Simmons in the headlines, he allegedly sexually assaulted a girl in front of somebody else, and Brett Ratner.
Yeah.
Like if you
she was
read
asking
what
for
Brett
help
Ratner
or some shit.
says about it.
Yeah. She was asking for help or something, and somebody just let her.
Like Brett Ratner's like, I don't think I saw nothing that was wrong. So was you just watching this man have sex with a woman? Like, what were you doing? You just watching them.
It's the culture.
That's what
they
it's
see
wild.
Nothing wrong with
But
it.
how do you? But see, this is what. Okay,
That's how you know it's wild.
I understand it's wild, and I understand it can get tricky. But what I'm saying is, when do we start promoting self accountability? That's all I'm saying. Like,
Well, maybe if you like invite a woman over and have her sign a contract or something.
people do that.
People do that too.
People doing that
serious.
shit. I think Breezy doing that.
Is dangerous.
Yeah, it's called non-disclosure.
Yeah,
They
non-disclosure.
make them
People do
sign a
that.
non-disclosure. Yeah, and I respect that.
You better do it. You
Yeah.
better get your daggone
And
Ginkgo
see, I
together.
understand why
Ginkgo.
I understand why they
Staples.
do it, because you have so many hungry, thirsty women out here
Yes.
that scream rape,
Yes.
and
And
then
men.
nothing really
And men
happens.
too.
So
Yeah,
I
son.
get
That's what
that.
I'm saying.
And that's part of the
And
problem.
men, too.
You have women that are being taken, men and women, being
and
taken
women.
advantage of. Then you have other people taking advantage of
Of the system.
Yeah.
the system and the situation.
Yeah.
That's why the line is so blurred.
But that's why
That's
we
why
got
it's so hard to read into it.
That's why we gotta be looking at. We have to be detailed in context instead of just going for the headlines. And I feel like that's what happens a lot of times. We just go for the headlines instead of
people do
looking
that.
at every case by case scenario. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Well, so to add context to it, right? So let's look at it from a predator and prey standpoint. See, we often sympathize with victims, and we have that type of, I guess, society where
They
people
create
are
victims.
victimized.
They create victims.
But do we really know how to assess a predator, or what a predator is, or a person that is preying on somebody, or a person that's going to manipulate their title, their power, whatever situation they in to get what they want? And we talking about sexual misconduct because it happens. Like Hollywood is one example, but what happens when it happens in with religious leaders and preachers,
Just as wrong.
stuff like that? It seems like it's a whole different narrative to it. Then
It's just as wrong.
it's like, well, like I seen something about
It's using their power again.
right. I mean, so to add context to it, are we going to ever, as a society, hold those people accountable in those positions? To what extent are we going to go? It seems like we want to hold certain people accountable. Other people's like, I don't want to touch that.
I think
Maybe because they
generally
don't
we
have
have held them accountable, and we get upset when they let us down and do the shit that they're doing. That's why people get so up in arms about it, because you have this position of power equals you should know better. So the fact that you're still doing this is a problem, and it shouldn't even be to a point when we should have to tell you it's a problem. Like, I feel like it's
That's
a
my
mental,
point.
it's a mental thing. Like, if you are to the
That's my
point
point.
where you are touching little boys as a pastor, or trying to have sex with people on your casting couch, something is mentally wrong with you.
Yeah.
And that's for men.
Sexual
I think
demon.
People in positions of power are always
Sexual demon.
going to use their positions of power. And I'm going to say men more specifically to get what they want. It's easier
Why you say men more specifically though?
because
Dog?
I can speak from a male's point of view and perspective.
Okay.
I'm kind of sliding back to Hollywood a little bit, or we can still be talking about the church. Like
Yeah.
a pastor has a position of power. He can manipulate that to have him a couple side pieces in the congregation. It happens all the time.
Okay.
All the time. Even when people know that what they're doing is wrong, they're more focused on, like, look, this pastor right here, I'm thinking about the benefits that come with
Yeah.
the relationship I have with this person, just like if it's a high Hollywood producer. Look,
Yeah.
I do something wild with Harvey, I'm going to get some bread.
Right. But see, this is what I'm
I'm
saying.
going to get some bread.
This is
I
what
know
I'm
I'm going to get
saying.
some bread. I
How'd
can
I
take
do
care of my
that,
family.
though?
You're right, because that shit that was happening with Eddie Long when he was going through that shit, he still had a congregation
Still had a
behind him.
congregation.
So my whole
Eddie Long, Jamal
believe
Bryan, Jamal Bryant.
Yeah,
I
he did
was
some
so
wild- he had a baby on
disappointed
his ass.
in Jamal.
Yeah, he had
Who the fuck is Jamal
he had
Bryant?
What'd he
sex
do?
with a
What'd he get?
17-year-old.
He had side pieces. He had kids outside his marriage and side pieces within
Nasty,
his
dirty dog.
congregation.
That's what I'm saying.
But
But
also,
he's such a good pastor. I was so
Right.
That's
See?
a
Oh
lie.
wow,
so
Yeah.
That's a good
sad.
pastor.
He's a good
Devil.
teacher.
Fuck.
Harvey
Nah,
makes
nah.
the best movies.
He does.
Right.
And
Right,
that's why people
perfect.
are
That was
and
perfect.
that's why people are still up in arms about it, because you're so good at what you do and you have this position of power. You should know better.
About people.
But this
It
is what I'm-
doesn't negate the fact that they're not talented.
But how about this? How about
Nasty talent.
is it possible that we can have a brain that we try to rehabilitate both parties if
At the
involved?
same time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because
Yeah, because it's something
simultaneous.
mental with someone that
both
is
parties,
that.
both parties.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like we demonize one party
One-
and then
yeah.
we promote
Praise
another victimization of
Now,
somebody.
can I make a point?
Absolutely.
I also feel like if these were a bunch of black women that came out, it would be a different story.
It was one.
Shit, I feel like if it was a
depends.
bunch of
That's
men,
And she
I
was
feel
a
like
What was the girl that played in 12 Years of Slavery?
Lupita.
Lupita.
She was the first one to come out, and they
She wasn't the first.
She was
Well,
one of them. She wasn't the first.
She was one of them, but I don't see her.
But hold up. But this is tripping y'all about her shit, right? She say, because I read that shit. She say she came over to Bama crib. She say his family was over there. She say he told her that he was gonna go in his bedroom to read some scripts or check some shit out.
Hollywood,
So
wow.
this is what I'm saying, right then and there. Something should activate in your brain to say, this ain't what I'm gonna do. But
as
instead,
soon as you said bedroom, I'd have been like,
but this is what I'm
We gotta
saying.
talk about this because you mentioned.
But
something.
instead,
That's sometimes.
she goes to the bedroom. She says he goes on the bed. Boom. Second thing right there. He's on the
Yeah, he's
bed.
on the bed to
He's
read
on the bed.
script.
Now she's in the bedroom, but she ain't on the bed yet. She still got a chance to leave. She's not leaving. She gets on the bed. Then she says he starts taking his shirt off and asks for a massage. I think she said she gave the Bama the massage. Then she started feeling uncomfortable after the massage. Then she's like, then I got my stuff.
Somewhere in there.
But I'm like, shorty, like, so this
And
is what I'm
that's the
saying.
desperation.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we
Right
need
there.
well,
to
let's
I
not
don't know,
say
let's
that
defend
because
Elizabeth.
some people are just really green to shit. Like some people are very naive.
That is really dumb.
I don't
So
know.
we can't even always say it's
At
desperation.
a certain age, are you really going around here that naive? At a certain age, as an
Yes.
adult.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
being in a professional field and going in somebody's bedroom.
Come
and giving
on,
them
y'all.
a
We not
massage.
talking about.
but
Like I already know. When
I'm
he
not
was going
saying
at the
that
age of 15, I knew he was trying to
situation.
get some damn coochie.
I'm not saying that
My-
situation. I'm just saying
Some
some
people
of
are
the
naive.
people
I
in
get
this
you. I
situation.
know some naive motherfuckers.
All I'm
around
saying
here.
is with Hollywood, that's where the standard is different. I've learned in business, you don't go in somebody's house to conduct business unless it's a certain type of set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the moment a man says, "Let's go to this other room," and
Ladies.
his wife and kids look at this, okay, see you later. Like,
Ladies.
Come on.
And then you got to think
Ladies,
too.
listen to him.
A lot of these men that do this, I'm pretty sure their wives know, and their
that's
wives
my
are
point.
okay with
and that's
it.
what I was getting to.
Because they are living this certain lifestyle they don't want to get rid of, so they don't want to
don't.
say nothing.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
hurry up, take that, and get back. We got
Hungry horse.
I'm telling you, man. But
So, but hold on, let me say something.
Go
real
ahead, brother,
quick.
go ahead.
In Hollywood, what doesn't make sense from a standard standpoint, when people say you conduct business in hotel rooms and clubs and over drinks
You already
and
know what's
drugs
gonna
and
happen.
all that type of stuff, you're blurring the line. You're setting yourself up.
for the finesse.
You're setting
For
yourself
the
up.
finesse.
So it's one thing to say you're taking advantage of. It's another thing to put yourself in a position to be taken
advantage of,
I
yes.
don't want to hear you talking about a director says he calls you in the middle of the night. I just got an idea. I need you to come to this hotel. I just got an idea too, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do something nasty to you.
Yeah.
You know, the
yeah.
crazy
about?
thing about it is it's
wanna
not
hear that.
even. It could even end worse than just the sexual assault. You can wind up being murdered.
Right. And then what
Yeah.
happens?
Or you could be sold to
Or
sex
gang
slavery.
rape.
You don't know what the
Right.
fuck.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So you
Anything.
can't
Because
put
a lot
yourself
of
in that
females
position.
have been murdered
Right.
in Hollywood that we don't even know about,
Right.
and drugged up, and like you said, sold into the sex slave.
But that's why I'm
Slavery.
saying I'm the type of guy where I'm always trying to preach about accountability because we make mistakes, dog. Like you're going to be finessed out here in your process of learning as an adult, going through your journey.
It's a finessing generation.
You're going to get finessed. But the thing about it is, just because you was in a situation don't mean you got to keep repeating that. And what I'm saying is, once you start allowing yourself to be buying into victimization narratives of how easy you can slip into that pocket of being a victim. Some people will be naive though, T. That's the thing. Some people will choose to be naive, play that role to just for the hopes of being in that situation to sue somebody or to get reap the reward of choosing a decision. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, what I'm saying is, if we talk about really rehabilitating both sides and both people being accountable for the situation. Because what I'm saying is, if Hollywood is telling you need to sell your ass to propel to new levels, then you got to make a decision. Is Hollywood worth it?
And people not doing that.
People not doing it.
Hell no.
People want
That's what I'm saying.
I got a problem with a new dude I meet asking me to have dinner at his house on the first date, yet alone somebody in a position of power that be like,
I'll be in somebody's basement.
just come to my house. Let's go over these documents. I be like, who gonna be there?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Can I bring the team with me?
Right.
But see, I feel like what you said
let's go
earlier.
to a restaurant.
What you said earlier, I like the flip. You said if it was a bunch of black women, it would never be that big of a deal.
I don't think it would be this big of a deal.
I think if it was a bunch of men, coming out, I don't think it would have been that big of a deal. I feel like
I think that shit would be worse.
Yeah, it would.
I'm talking about as far as the empathy. I don't think that. I feel like men.
I empathized on that.
A lot of women would empathize, but I see
young boy
men
that
probably
was
would.
raped by. He was fondled by
Terry.
Yeah, he was fine. He was like 15, 16 years old, fondled by the.
Oh no, that wasn't Terry.
What are you talking about?
The newscaster, her son was touched by some guy in Hollywood. I can't remember. Y'all didn't hear about that?
Nah.
So much, man. That's why I said this is gonna be a part 2 episode, right?
Son,
I couldn't even. Yeah, it's on CNN.
I heard a vicious story though. Justice like a motherfucker. This Bama said. They said that this Bama. I heard the story the other day. They said this Bama walked in, and some kid was getting fondled or molested by, I think it was like a family member.
He's about to babysit joint.
Oh, he would be dead.
I think
the father whooped him up.
Yeah, but look, but it's the thing though. See, this the thing though. They said that the Bama whupped him. Nah, because it was justice. The Bama said the Bama beat him up and locked him in the room, right? But this the thing, when the police came.
Oh, he's when he jumped out the window. That's another one.
Jumped out the window.
That was the family member.
This what I'm saying though. The police came and was like, they saw the window open and the dude sprawled over the gate and he was dead. And I was like, dog, you know damn well that Bama ain't jump. That Bama ain't jump. That Bama was tossed out that window. And I was like, thank God for justice. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of justice we need out here.
I never questioned that either.
No, when I heard the windows open and he sprawled on the gate. Who lands on the gate, bruh? You thrown on that joint, bruh.
That's right.
It was in New York, and
yes.
I think it happened with like
sprawled on the gate.
It was other people in the house or something. Like I think some of the dudes left and then came back, and when they came in the house, he was molesting one of the boys. And they just started whooping them
up.
And I think you can't leave your kids in the house with anybody. Where's the judgment?
And it's not even that.
Where's the accountability?
Yeah.
See, now you want to talk about accountability. Yes.
But kids are helpless. You don't do that to kids.
Y'all just do that all the time, though. That's the crazy part.
I think what we're realizing now is that we live in a rape culture, and we have to really, really talk about that and discuss.
You have to teach your children.
You know, like sexual misconduct is normal in America.
But when you say rape culture,
it's not normal.
How can you define that?
I mean, well, I'm not going to look up like a term because I mean that's somebody else made up that definition. But to me, all the behaviors that are sexual misconduct, like we're talking about, survive in a rape culture. The only way it can happen in a country, especially like America, is if it's prevalent to a certain point for one, and if there aren't the proper punishments for it. So you get more time for fucking flipping the key than you can for touching a boy.
Yeah.
But see, but my thing is, who created that rape culture? Let's
I know where you're going
now
with
you're
this.
talking.
No,
let's
I'm
go
saying.
back to
No, I'm
slavery.
saying.
I
Who
know where
created
you're
this
going
rape
with this.
culture?
Let's go back to slavery.
No, because I'm saying we gotta be honest about
Okay.
that,
I
so
should be
people
getting
know
paid
how to
from
be
300 years
accountable.
ago.
That's the thing. People aren't honest about the origin of things, so they don't know how to defend themselves. They don't know how to be equipped with
But
things.
I don't think that the origin doesn't matter.
Oh, it does.
About when it comes to how to defend yourself and how to think the right way and make like that doesn't matter.
Let me tell you why it doesn't matter. Let me tell you why it does matter. Let me just say why it does matter. Because if some people, I believe, if some people took a lot of faith out of America, they could see how America is fucking them in so many more ways than one. But a lot of people have a lot of faith in that flag and what they feel that America should stand for. So when you tell somebody that America created a rape culture, the same place that you love, the same place that you pledge your flag to, now they reject it. And what I'm saying, if they started understanding that, then you can understand that it's deeper than just physical rape.
Oh no, see, I thought you was going with the European culture created it and brought it.
Yeah, because
like,
that's
They
where it
did.
came
What you
from,
talking about?
European
But
culture.
that's what
I was going. What you talking
right,
about?
but
You,
that's what I'm
you
saying.
missed
Like
the boat.
even then, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like
From a solution standpoint, right now, you might be right.
right, who cares? We should care, but right now, who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah.
Like, if somebody touch you inappropriately,
Well,
if
see,
somebody make you feel
Talk
uncomfortable,
about
you
that.
should automatically have learned as an adult from your parent or somebody
Yeah, but that's
who
not the case, though.
is, important in your life not to let nobody touch you.
Well,
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
I had to teach my son that you have to teach a child when they're young, 3 years old and up, that they should take their own baths, put them in a tub, let them wash their own private parts. No one is to touch you. When you're ready, this is what I had to teach my son. When he was ready to come out of the tub, he calls mommy. I used to teach him, I used to tell him, make sure I'm your protector. I had to let him know that I'm here. If somebody, because predators tend to tell their victims, you're going to get in trouble. They're not going to believe you.
Psychology.
Yeah,
Just playing on
reverse
running
psychology,
game.
and it works with some of these children because they're young and naive. They don't know, but it starts in the household. You have to teach your child, I am your protector. Don't believe anything anybody else says when it comes to them. If they're touching you and it feels uncomfortable, you let me know. Let me tell you something. So when I took my son for his first physical, and you know how the men have to do the coughing.
I gotta grab your nuts.
Yeah, he went ballistic, and I was in the room, so therefore I knew.
Why
that
you ain't asking to have no female doctor? You did them dirty.
it was
That
a female
dirty.
doctor.
Oh, then
But
he
what
should've
I
been
forgot
happy. What
to
the
tell
fuck?
him is, once that happens, she's gonna have to touch you. A doctor.
It's okay for the doctor.
It's okay for the doctor. I forgot to tell him that, and he cried all the way to the car. So.
Slight trauma.
I felt that I did my duty as a mother because I taught him
shit.
all the way through to be, look, this is your private body. No one is to touch you.
Do parents
No one is
still
to make
teach
you
their
feel
kids that now? Because
belittle
I
you.
remember being taught that.
Well,
Don't
lot
talk
of-
to strangers.
you said
Don't let
parents,
nobody
though.
touch you.
You said parents, but if
Your guardian.
well, the
When you're
household is
absent,
broken, so you got to think about
when
that.
you're
So
an
we was
absent
talking-
parent, how
Even
could you believe somebody?
even as a single mother or single father, you should still be teaching your
But you gotta
kids.
know
Don't
it, though. You
let
can't teach what
nobody
you don't
touch you.
But is there ever?
You can't teach what
I
you
went
don't know.
and I talked
I get that,
to young girls. I talked to a couple of young girls that were in foster care about sex abuse. And you know what they told me? They told me that they never was taught. No one ever talked to them. And they wish that someone had taught them that. They wish that someone would have been there to listen to them.
Right.
But see,
And it didn't happen. And they became victims.
but this is one thing we can all agree, you had to be a sick motherfucker not to agree that any type of praying or any type of child is horrific and wrong on every level.
Yeah.
But my thing is, when we talking about adults, let me ask y'all a question. Is there ever a time where misconduct is okay? Sexual misconduct is okay?
If it's
As
coming
an
from
adult.
both sides.
As an
If it's
adult.
coming from
Now you
both
playing
sides.
with
As
fire
an adult.
now.
But see, this is what I'm saying, because this is where I'm going.
Okay.
Sexual misconduct could also mean you and somebody else doing something out in public.
And somebody
Right.
else feels...
Or
And
fuck
somebody
around on
else
the-
feels
fuck
some-
around on the job.
But that's
and somebody else feels some kind of way.
Right.
So
And
when I'm
that is-
saying
they can press charges.
but what I'm saying is that's
Wait,
why.
pause.
What?
Wait.
That sexual.
You're saying a couple can be having sex in the park or something, and
Yeah.
someone can see them, and the person
And
that
call-
sees
yeah.
them
Yeah,
can
and
press
call the
charges.
police.
Whole
Yes, they
time,
can.
whole time.
They can call the
Real
police.
They
quick,
can.
before I came here,
Yes,
I
they
was
can.
watching Deuces and Mero, and it was one of their older episodes. They showed a clip after the Yankees game.
Mm-hmm.
Couple was getting it in on the train. One Bama asleep right there,
Mm-hmm.
another Bama on his phone, head in his hand. Shorty's riding this Bama like she's going
Yeah,
for the
that's
triple
great.
crown.
That was great. That was great. That's what's up. Hey, look, I got.
That can be misconduct or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
That could be,
I would
Yeah.
sue Metro.
Yeah, I had a
Where's the
misconduct
cameras?
story that was
or
pretty great.
to other people, that could be stimulating. Like, man,
I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
That
what I'm
could be a
saying.
porn.
Because that
Yeah,
happened to
Bay gonna
me.
do that
That
shit.
happened to me. I was with this little white joint a couple years ago, right? Had this joint in the park, right?
Couple years ago. Keep
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
couple years
yeah,
ago.
yeah. Look. It was a while back though. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker had it in the park out there in the open, in the dark though. Just getting it in on this bench. When I say getting it in, getting it in. And all of a sudden the police pulled up, right? And they had now where we was at, it was on the lower part, right? And the little parking lot, the police, it was kind of like on the horizon, like a little bit above. So Shorty was like, "Oh my God, let's stop." But I was in mid-stroke. I was like, "Nah, if they come down the hill, we run. But if they don't come down the hill, I'm gonna finish." They ain't come down the hill neither, nigga. They was just watching. And I was just like, fuck it, let them watch. You know what I'm saying? And then when
That's
I
what I'm
finished,
saying,
they
see?
pulled off, and I went back in my car. I went home. It was a lovely night. It was a lovely evening.
It's-
You know what I'm saying?
This is a different type of.
But that was when sexual misconduct was all right. That's all I'm saying. Like,
There's
as an
gonna be scenarios
adult,
like that.
as an adult, you gotta add context to this shit, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Because you could be having sex and somebody want to get choked, or they might want to get hit with a belt or something, or you want to get tied up and blindfolded. Hey man, this stuff goes different ways
Yeah.
and directions.
That's what I'm saying, dog. It's getting.
So you have to have a code words. First of all, if you didn't know,
If you didn't
This nigga
know,
say cold word.
Pineapples.
pineapples. Stop.
sesame seed.
Hey, yo, he's stupid in the motherfucker.
Oh, that shit's serious, man.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
somebody will go farther than you may want them to go.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's again, like I said on one of the last shows, you're supposed to have that "what do you, don't you, willing to
Everybody
try"
doesn't
conversation with sex before you even have sex.
People don't do that.
But
People,
you should.
All right,
When
people
we
should-
was young back in the day and we was pressed to have sex and we ain't have, we ain't get it like we wanted to. We was always talking about sex. Now that we adults, people don't want to talk about what their likes and dislikes are anymore.
I don't
like,
think that's
why
true.
does that?
Because they
change?
get straight to the point.
Right, cause they trying to live it. They don't want to talk
They
about it.
get
They trying to
straight to
live
the
that
point.
shit.
if somebody doesn't want to get to know you and just wants to have sex with you, then that conversation isn't going to be
It's
one that
irrelevant.
leads to
It's not even
getting to the
yeah.
depths of a person. What's your favorite color and how do you
Well,
feel about
the
this
colors
book?
and shit is one
I'm just
thing.
throwing random stuff out there. My
I
point
still
is,
ask
But
about
even
the
if
color.
all we gonna do is have sex, you need to know what I like. I need to know what you like, and we need to know what lines not to cross.
no, because everybody don't think like that.
Just like
That's why women
people
need to
don't
be
want
wise.
fingers in their ass. You need to tell some people
Here we
that.
go. Let's not bring that
front.
up, please, because you know that
I'm
is a
just saying.
violation.
Rape culture.
Yeah, rape culture
Rape
like
culture.
a motherfucker.
So you just gonna yam your fingers in the nigga.
Oh,
ass.
so that's rape
Okay.
culture.
That's a
But
violation.
your wife
that.
telling you no and you having sex
Oh
with
yeah,
her
let's talk
anyway.
about this.
Shots
Let's
fired.
talk about
Not
this. Nah, let's
rape.
talk about
Let's
this,
go.
son.
See how-
Nah, let's talk about this. Nah, because they
That
was.
is
I
considered
They was
I
trying.
can't with
date rape.
Joe.
Do y'all understand
I
what
can't
vows
with you.
are?
All right.
Hold on, let me break this down
Do
to
you know how
y'all.
many people got arrested for raping their wives?
Exactly.
Listen to what I'm about to tell y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, if somebody is putting any kind of physical force, pounding, beating on somebody to take something from them, I get that. I get the emotional damage. That is wrong.
That
but,
is rape.
But what I'm saying is, if you are married, this is what we were talking about. If you are married and you telling me you tired, listen, you took some damn vows. Now, what I'm talking about is wifely duty.
No,
Okay,
we
wait,
were
hold on. Wifely duties.
we were specifically talking about
Okay.
a wife not wanting to have sex and her husband pinning her down and forcing her. That's what we was talking about.
Hold on, but when you
rape.
say pin, see
You
this
selling
is,
it a different
this
way.
is that's what I'm saying. When you say pin,
Rape,
it
meaning
goes
I
a
don't
little
want
too
to
far.
have sex with you and you're making me do it anyway.
But can we be more
I'm
realer?
saying no.
Let's be more
and you're
realer.
making me do it anyway.
But let's be more realer in a relationship context of you being with somebody for years and you telling that person no. And then the average person ain't gonna be sitting there pinning you down. But what he probably do is he probably slide it in when you sleep. You probably wake up to like this. You probably wake up and be rocking, and then you be like,
that's a valid point though. Is that rape?
That's what I'm saying,
Is
bro.
that rape?
You need to stay asleep. Stay asleep,
Don't
boo.
let it ride when it feels
Stay
good.
asleep. Why
Stay
are you trying
asleep,
to fuck her?
boo.
She's not.
I got needs. You signed up for this when you said I do. Listen, this is what I'm saying. You want to talk about vows, but you don't want to cherish them. See, this is what I'm saying. If you tell a man no, day after day after day, a man is building up. Oh, it's misogynistic because a motherfucker building up all kind of sexual tension, right?
So I could put my finger in your ass. Is what
What
saying.
kind of shit is that?
That's all.
What is that?
You consider that rape culture?
Oh, that is sick. That is sick.
What's
You want
the
to
difference?
emasculate a
They
man.
valid.
I'm doing something you don't want me to
nah.
do
I'm
sexually,
trying
and
to-
we still married.
Listen. I'm
You
trying to.
pin your dick in me, and we married, and I don't want you to
See,
do it. It's fucking rape
I'm
culture.
trying
It is
to
rape.
listen. I'm trying to empower you with this
No.
dick. You trying to emasculate me with your finger? That's not a fair
Misogynistic.
exchange.
No, Joe.
That's all I'm saying. Let's
no.
keep it 100.
No, that ain't 100.
Anything that is forced.
And see, that's what.
When you saying force, what we talking
Okay.
about right now? We talking about wife and husband.
Okay.
But
It can still be forced.
And that's why I think the line is blurred in that specific interaction, because I think some men can think that a woman's wifely duties when it comes to sex supersedes how she might feel at certain times when he's horny and she ain't. To me, I'm not. I ain't. That ain't my thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I would say is, like I said earlier, if my woman is like, no, I'm not into it. I don't want to. I'm not in the mood. Woo, 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 woo. At some point, sooner, extremely sooner to me, rather than later, we need to have the conversation that leads to the understanding why you might not be feeling turned on or want to have sex, because I don't want you to hold me hostage sexually in my relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
wanna be able-
understandable.
It could get tired.
I don't want for me to be like, look, I'm busting out my boxes right now, and you're like, nah, well, like, what you want me to do? I'm not just gonna masturbate for the rest of my life.
Nah.
So,
That's understandable.
if you don't want me to go have sex with another woman, you at least need to communicate me to what's going on, so we
Right.
can try to have a better understanding of the situation.
Yeah.
Now, I say that to say,
Okay.
if she sleep and you take it while she sleep, you're playing with fire.
Why you saying take it? Why you saying
'Cause
take
you're
it?
taking it.
Why you saying take it? See, I'm talking about when you with your wife. I'm not talking about when you
I
with
got all
some
that. I
little
got all
youngin. When you with a little youngin,
I
it's
understand.
taking it.
I
But when you
understand
with
all
a
that.
wife,
Joe, nothing changes but the title.
so what? Okay,
That's
so what are
it.
you doing? What are you getting married for? Okay, hold up, time
Wait.
out. We talking about wifely do. So why does no? Why does sex not go under the column of wifely duties? Why is that?
It
when the
does.
Oh, it does now.
I'm not saying that it never did. I'm
Sex
saying
shouldn't be
that
a duty. It should be like.
I'm
pleasurable.
saying that a
I agree.
husband should
Right?
not force
So why
himself
you
on
saying
a
it's a
wife just
duty?
because
It should
he
be
feels like it's part of her duties.
But okay.
She's supposed to have sex with him, yes. But if at some point she's feeling a type of way for whatever reason, she says no, and you force it on her, you are wrong.
You're a rapist.
So
Now I'm gonna say what both people are wrong.
Okay.
The man is wrong if he forces it. The woman
Yes.
is wrong for not communicating why.
or compromising with other options. You understand what I'm
Oh,
saying?
now that
Oh,
comes
we
in.
gotta be
There's a
creators.
$12
We gotta be
dollar,
solution
darling.
creators. Because I'm trying to tell. I don't
Oh,
understand.
Lord.
See, this is my thing. When you, if you're gonna be, if you're gonna get married, most people that get married are religious.
All right.
They have religious beliefs behind their marriage. So what I'm saying is, if you my wife, and you and it's been the 4th day, and you telling me you tired.
You know what? I just thought of something.
Uh-oh.
You're not very religious.
Nah.
But yet you brought up
Uh-oh.
the Bible and vows an
Yeah,
hour
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
Back
yeah.
there in the
Because most people that get married are
but
religious.
don't use the Bible and vows when it's convenient for you to get
you.
your way.
But hold up, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is I'm
'Cause
not
that's
exactly
exactly
married.
that's how you
But most
said you
people
would
that-
have viewed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I talk to married couples, I don't
Hypocrite.
understand why a man sit here and tell me he ain't had sex in a while because the woman that don't want to do it. I don't get it. Because I'm like, dude, you supposed to be telling her what that Bible tell you her to do. That Bible tell her
but
that
again,
she
you're
has
not
wifely
religious,
duties.
and you at some point consider marriage.
Yeah, but me and my woman have an understanding.
Would you then again say, "Oh, well, the Bible says"?
Nah,
that
you know why? Because in my
are...
relationship, me and my woman have an understanding about what our vows are, and that's what I'm trying to say.
Vows aren't solely religious. You can make your vows.
Exactly, and that's my. But what I'm saying is, religious people they go by the vows and all that thing. And if you want to go by tradition, it says wifely duty. So, and the thing I'm trying to tell you is, don't use
the Bible when it's convenient for you.
But I'm not talking about for me because I live a creating
you were
life.
saying that in relation to yourself because we were talking about you in that situation.
If I was to get married like a religious person, I would have religious beliefs behind it. But my marriage is not going to be religious. My marriage is going to be soul based. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different dynamic, and that's for a different show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, as far as a man and a wife, most of the time, a woman doesn't understand and you know what? That's another conversation too. Most of the time, women don't understand a man's hormones and how much it gets tough. It gets tough for us men.
Wait, what was that word we kept saying earlier? Accountability.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
You're a grown man.
Okay.
Control your fucking urges.
Control my urges.
You don't have to have sex every time you get horny.
You don't have to have sex. So,
even if your wife is there.
Hunter, talk to him, Hunter.
You don't have
What's
to
Gucci?
have sex
Every
every time you're horny.
A lot of men don't believe that in the beginning. Because we all, in the beginning, your pheromones. You like an animal, attraction. You just like want to be on top of each other. You want to hump, you want to fuck.
Okay.
So you're doing that more. You're doing that a lot in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But then you have men too that feel like, look, slow down.
Yeah, there's some out there.
You don't need to have this on.
Some lame ass niggas out there. Some lame.
I've got to slow down.
There's some lame
Like,
ass.
damn.
I don't think that's a beginning or where you at in a
having
relationship.
too much sex right now.
It's based on what you prioritize. To me, I think that's what people kind of put the cart before the horse. Like, that's why it's always good at the beginning of relationships. You often hear because people aren't addressing the most important things that need to be addressed when they need to be addressed. I think you should generally be having that type of sex for the majority of your relationship.
Yeah, you should.
So if you have it after a year or two or three or however long of establishing the foundation, working out kink stuff like that.
Sex is not everything in a relationship. It's something, but I want to be with you on a mental stimulation.
Right, and see, he just mentioned like sometimes men. All right, I got that.
I need you to stimulate me mental because your penis is not going to work forever. My coochie is not going to work forever. Can we be friends?
But you know what I'm thinking.
Give your ass a heart attack.
You know what I'm thinking? I feel like the naivete of the misconduct comes from people people kind of like diminishing the power of sex. It's a lot of power in sex. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is anything that has power, man will corrupt. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be aware of that.
Well, like, for example, from a rape culture standpoint, from a man's standpoint, one thing, and I think the First Lady just said it, controlling yourself and having discipline. Sometimes for a dude, like when he a little too horny.
Yeah, I get tired of that.
Diamonds make the worst decisions on the planet.
Yeah.
So you see some of these sexual harassment joints, like you see unsolicited dick pics. I think
beating off saves lives. Beating off saves lives. I'm telling you.
It keeps you out of jail.
So many niggas had beat off and beat charges off just beating off.
You go somewhere, have some strong drinks. There's women around. This motherfucker out, man. This is what it is. I'm telling you, Bammers do wild shit.
Yeah.
That's why we reading some of the stuff we reading in the headlines. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of sick stuff happening. Some of it you can make light of, a lot of it you can't. But it happens to dudes. Sometimes dudes can't think straight. Like, man, it's been 2 months. For real? I ain't had none in 2 months. And I can't even concentrate at work. I'm less productive.
It gets rough, son. I'm trying to tell you.
Well, I mean, can't you have an intimate connection with her other than penetration?
Right. So the question goes back to who her is.
The one you're dealing with that's holding back the sex.
Right. No. That's what throws some men off because they do have an intimate connection. They love their woman. They want to be with her and build with her, but they want to do certain things on a sexual level to different extents on a consistent basis. Women don't operate like that though.
Nah.
Not all the time. Like sometimes a dude like, man, I had a long day at work. I just want to drink a beer, get it in real quick and go to sleep. And a woman's like, well, just want them to say this or say that or feel this or feel. They could be, who
I
knows
just
what a
want to
woman
watch
is.
But
it.
hold
Be
on, but
held.
you know that, right?
Right.
You know that. So why don't you take the time to just sit there and to engage in
I'm not saying that I
indulge into a
don't. I'm saying men in
conversation
general.
with
Some
her.
some dudes might not have learned that behavior or have that skill set or to manage women in that way. Some
Yeah, but
dudes don't know
not,
how to.
It's not hard. Well, I'm not going to say it's not hard, but females communicate a lot. We do tell.
Yeah, so it's
our
just in a
mates.
different way.
Well, just
we'll
because
tell
y'all
you what
talk
we
to me, y'all
want.
be saying shit though. That's another thing. That's a whole
But it's
nother
up to you
topic.
to listen. It's so simple to us, but it's so hard to you guys.
But I mean, if y'all
Does
ain't
that make all
saying
the
shit,
sense
are
in
we?
the world
What
right
we
there?
nah, if y'all ain't saying shit, what we listening to?
Yes.
I be seeing youngins be talking a lot, but they don't be saying shit. I be like, Slim, you got a lot of vocabs for no meaning.
Women can insinuate in a totally different way. Like it's almost like a different language.
Right.
Like a woman can ask you if you're hungry, or babe, I'm hungry, I want something to eat, and you pull up to McDonald's. McDonald's right there. You go to McDonald's. Says, what you think? I'm a McDonald's bitch or something?
If you got a bottle of gin, I'm gonna be a McDonald's broad, okay? Shit,
When I
give
said
me a
I'm
double,
hungry,
double.
I let you pull up to this McDonald's and see if you was gonna take me in there. I
Give me
wanted
a
to
Big
go fucking
Mac.
a restaurant.
Oh man, nah.
orange
Like women
juice.
communicate indirectly
We ain't playing
sometimes
them
like that.
games. We ain't playing them games.
I'm
nah.
not saying that it's right,
But
but
that's
women
called learning your mate. Like you have to learn who you're dealing with. You have to learn and if you can deal with it, if that's matches your fly, if she's the type of woman that you like, then yeah. But I'm the type of woman that like you could take me anywhere. I like egg foo young. I like.
I'll tell you what I want.
You like mumbo sauce?
I like
All women
mumbo
I like, I
sauce.
tell you, all
I'll
women I
tell
like.
you, babe. I got a taste
Take
for
me
some
somewhere to
Kobe's.
eat.
You want
I
to go
don't
to
give a
Kobe's
fuck.
tonight? I want some Kobe.
Oh nah,
Oh,
that's,
women
that's
like
that
that
shit they be
expensive
cooking in front of you and
person.
shit.
Yeah, that's
nah,
what
that
I
shit
want.
too
But see,
expensive.
But if you
dog.
taking me to McDonald's and buying me like a dollar menu meal all the time, then yes, I have an issue. If
poison anyway.
and
Why
you
you
buy
feeding
me a
that
teddy
poison?
bear
I
from
use
the
that as
side
an
of the
example. I ain't wanna go
road,
too
then I
deep
have
into
an
that.
issue.
But I mean,
Don't
I
bring me
think
back no
we're running out
side
of time,
teddy
really.
bears.
So there is no sexual misconduct amongst relationships, right? Is that what you're saying? Is that what,
I didn't say that,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? Is that what you're saying? We can all agree to that, right?
No, that's
No.
It's gonna be a part two to this one.
I'm
It's
just
gonna be a
saying,
part two.
if I
man.
walk
It's
in the
gonna be a
room
part
and
two.
it's a bunch of people in the room, my youngin in the room, and I
Love
go
you
in that
guys.
joint, I squeeze her ass, I'm like, what's up, bro? And you feel some kind of way about that? That's
'Cause I
not
ain't gonna- I
sexual
ain't gonna lie though.
misconduct.
Hold on, I do have to say something. I did feel like I kind of got raped one morning.
It
Like,
happens.
Talk
to men.
about it.
'Cause, like,
Tell me about
Talk
it.
about it.
Like,
I'm your
Let's hear
therapist.
this.
You've been
I
a
wasn't
victim?
really,
You've been hurt too?
you know what I'm saying? It was weird. for
Wait,
me.
that's not funny.
That joint sound like
That's
a
not
college
No, I'm
sign-up.
serious, but it's like
Sexual harassment.
the way it happened.
Sexual harassment is unacceptable.
Right. It's a no.
Stop laughing.
Didn't have a
devil.
lot of sleep, and I ironically had a bad dream. So you know when you have a bad dream, it lingers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for whatever,
Like going to work in the
for
morning.
whatever reason, this morning, Babe was just like in beast mode, like
Just
just
taking
snatches the covers off. I'm like,
Damn.
fuck is going on here? Like, is this about to happen? Like,
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
trying to
happening.
gather my thoughts. I got to
It
get
was
ready to go to
happening.
I'm
work.
surprised they didn't turn you on.
Because it was as random as I am.
Right.
It just was a super weird time. Like,
Right.
like I don't know what happened in the dream. I might
You
have
trying
died
to figure
twice
this shit
or
out,
something.
right? You trying to figure this shit out. You wanted answers.
I'm
Shit.
tired, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And then she just goes for it. And it's like, that's why I realized why I met in my relationship, because it's like, well, damn, I kind of got to perform. So I see
Always.
but
you should
I'm
know
not
that.
used to that.
So-
So
You
should
I
know
wouldn't
that.
want, like, it's just like what Joe was saying and with the first lady is saying. It's like, well, if the woman doesn't want to do it as a man, you kind of have to gauge if you're going to, or to the extent where you push her or coerce her into doing it, and vice versa. Because you really can't catch somebody at the wrong moment,
Right.
and they be fucked up with you. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so it could be within a relationship. It could be sexual misconduct. You got to be careful. That's all I'm saying. You
Got
be
to
careful.
be more careful.
Yeah.
Okay.
These days, that's the thing. I guess you just gotta tell boundaries. You gotta be careful out here. It's just you gotta be aware because the
Yeah.
finesse game is strong on each end, on the predator, the prey, or the system coming in. You know what I'm saying?
And-
the
and-
finesse is strong.
I've been
And
in
no
situations
one.
too.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just thought about this, like with an ex, like the code for me initiating the sex while she was sleep naked. So if I came home, because our schedules conflicted, so if I came home and I went upstairs and I peeled the covers back a little bit and she was naked, I can go downstairs and get twisted. A couple hours later, the moving shit, eating shit, licking this, doing that. She just go. So you have to have that level of understanding.
Right.
Without
course,
that,
yeah.
That's a good.
Without
that's
that.
a good.
now
That's
if
a
I
good
come
way
in the
to do
room
that.
and she got her pajama pants on and the tank, I ain't
You
no
just
happy.
pull them off when she sleeps, right?
Well, it's just-
No, Joe.
Sometimes
No.
I want that.
You just move that
pressure.
thing to the side and
We
shit.
got to go
But,
over that though.
Yeah, we have to go. But the moral of the conversation is no one should be violated of their rights, their body, their sexual rights. No one, man or female, should be violated.
At all.
And if that happens to you, you need to speak up right away. Don't hold back. Do not fear, because
Nip that shit in the bud.
let me tell you something. Someone will listen to you.
Yeah,
Someone will listen to you.
Also, but let's also say, well, I want to
Don't be
also say,
afraid.
be aware.
Be
You know what I'm
aware.
saying? Be aware. Understand what you're getting yourself into, and understand that this life that we live it's dog eat dog. So be aware that if you having red flags siren off in your head, listen to them. Don't sit there and be naive because you hoping that the best works out. Nah, be aware, be smart out here. You know what I mean? Because like she said, nobody deserves to be violated.
That's right.
You know?
All right, y'all.
On that note, we gonna be out.
We
Joe
love
Miles.
you.
Episode 6
Love
is done.
yourself.
Episode 6, bang bang,
See
gang
you next
gang.
week.
Uh-huh.
All right,
See you
Holla.
next week.
Next
Bye.
Wednesday, 10 p.m.
Cheer.
Tune in.
Tune in, tune off, and tune out.
Y'all
Yeah.
are crazy.
Tune in.
Yo, we
Suit
be
on,
wild.
suit
We be
on,
wild. We
suit
be
on,
wild. We
suit
be
on.
wild.